Welcome to the podcast where we break down the world's top cryptocurrencies. Each week, we go beyond the hype to explore why these projects exist, how they work under the hood, where they fit in the broader Web3 ecosystem, and what their future might look like. Today, we're diving deep into Ethereum, and not just the basics. We'll talk about its origin story, what makes it powerful, the latest updates, the real challenges it faces, and why it still might power the future of the internet. Let's get started. Ethereum. More than just a coin. You've probably heard of Ethereum. Maybe you've even bought a bit of ETH or used it on an NFT platform. But what is Ethereum, really? Think of it this way. If Bitcoin is a digital gold, Ethereum is a digital brain. It's programmable money, a blockchain you can build on. You can launch apps, contracts, even entire economies without a middleman. That's what makes it revolutionary. And yet, Ethereum didn't come from a Silicon Valley startup or a big corporation. It came from a teenager with a vision. Let's dig into the origins. Back in 2013, Vitalik Buterin, a young Russian-Canadian and a contributor to Bitcoin magazine, was fascinated by Bitcoin, but he found it limited. It could send money. But what if it could do more? What if you could write rules on the blockchain, like if X happens, then send Y to this address? He pitched the idea to the Bitcoin core devs. They didn't bite. So, he built it himself. By 2015, Vitalik had assembled a dream team of early crypto minds, Gavin Wood, Charles Hoskinson, Joseph Lubin, and launched Ethereum. The mission was simple but bold. Replace centralized systems with decentralized logic. In other words, build unstoppable applications, secured by code, not companies. How Ethereum works. At the heart of Ethereum is something called the Ethereum Virtual Machine, or EVM. Think of it like a massive global computer. Anyone can upload a smart contract to it. That's a bit of code that lives on the blockchain, runs exactly as written, and no one can alter it once deployed. To run that code, users pay gas fees. Those are transaction costs paid in ETH. It's what powers the network. Now, Ethereum started with a proof-of-work system, like Bitcoin, but in 2022, it made a huge leap. The Merge. Ethereum shifted to proof-of-stake, where validators secure the network by locking up ETH instead of running power-hungry machines. That change alone reduced its energy consumption by over 99%. What Ethereum made possible? Ethereum is why we have DeFi, or decentralized finance. Lending, borrowing, trading, all without banks. It's why we have NFTs, from monkey JPEGs to serious digital art. It's why DAOs exist, online communities that govern themselves. It's how stablecoins like USDC and DAI operate. And how entire games, marketplaces, and protocols can run without ever touching a server. Ethereum didn't just add features to blockchain, it redefined what blockchain could be. ETH, the token behind it all. Now let's talk ETH, the native currency of Ethereum. It's not just a coin, it's fuel. Every time someone interacts with the network, from sending tokens to minting NFTs, they pay in ETH. Unlike Bitcoin, ETH doesn't have a fixed max supply. But since 2021, with an upgrade called EIP 1559, part of every transaction fee gets burned. That means ETH can actually become more scarce over time, especially when demand spikes. And since the shift to proof-of-stake, new ETH isn't mined, it's staked. Validators earn yield by securing the network. As of now, over 30 million ETH is staked. That's a powerful incentive model, locking value directly into the protocol. Is it being used? Absolutely. More than 600,000 developers have worked on Ethereum-based projects. Billions of dollars flow through its apps every day. It's not just crypto native either. Brands like Nike, Reddit, and Starbucks are building on Ethereum. Even governments are testing ID systems or infrastructure layers using Ethereum-compatible technology. Ethereum isn't just an idea anymore, it's becoming the plumbing of the decentralized web. But Ethereum still has major challenges. Let's be clear, Ethereum's not perfect. First, it's expensive. When activity spikes, gas fees can hit $50 for a single transaction. That's a deal breaker for many. Second, it's slow. Blocks process every 12 seconds. That's great for security, not so great for instant apps. Then there's competition. Solana is faster, Avalanche is cheaper, and they're growing. Ethereum has to evolve constantly to stay ahead. Regulation is another wild card. In the US, is ETH a security? A commodity? No one's sure. That uncertainty makes institutions nervous. And finally, it's still too complex. Between wallets, gas fees, bridges, and rollups, the learning curve is steep. If Ethereum wants to become mainstream, it needs to feel as easy as using an iPhone. What's new in 2025? Just recently, in May 2025, Ethereum rolled out its latest major upgrade, Pectra. It's a big step. Validators can now stake more ETH, up to 2,048 ETH each, making operations more efficient. Wallets got an upgrade too, with new user-friendly features and better security. And under the hood, gas fees are being optimized even more. But that's just one piece of a much bigger roadmap. What's coming next? Ethereum's roadmap is ambitious. The devs split it into playful stages. The Surge, the Verge, the Purge, the Splurge. The Surge will bring rollups and sharding. That's how Ethereum will finally scale to thousands of transactions per second. The Verge focuses on simplifying how validators work, using math tricks like Verkle trees. The Purge is about streamlining, clearing old data, making nodes easier to run. And the Splurge? That's all the other cool stuff. Ethereum's not standing still. It's rebuilding itself from the inside out. What's the big picture? By 2030, Ethereum could be the invisible backend of everything digital. Your bank could run on Ethereum rails. Your ID? Stored on Ethereum. Your AI? Verified on Ethereum. It might not always be visible, but like TCP/IP in the early web, it'll be everywhere. A final story to close. You know what's wild? Vitalik Buterin, the guy who started all this, never became a CEO. He didn't raise billions. He didn't sell equity. He just released the code and walked away. He once said, Ethereum is for building things that can't be built anywhere else. That says everything. Thank you for listening. If this episode helped you understand Ethereum better, do us a favor. Share it with a friend. Leave a quick review, and follow the podcast for more deep dives into the world of crypto. Next time, we'll break down another major project that might just change the internet again. And remember, Bitcoin is for holding value. Ethereum is for building value. See you next time.